So I made a video that's super popular. I say super popular because it always stays in my top 10 of views. It's always bringing in viewership. It's comparing Bear K20 blocks, right? Because there's some misconception, a lot of misconception about what the fuck Honda makes their engines out of. There's only two materials that they really make their sleeves out of. The sleeves, the engine cylinders. Cast iron and FRM. We already know the blocks that have the FRM. There's not very many of them. There's only a few. For the most part, it's cast iron sleeves. All right? Now, the problem is with this misconception that goes around is that we know that the B20 back in the B series family is weaker than its B18 cousin. But it is not weaker because of the material used to make the sleeves. It is weaker because it is the same size cylinders that they use for the B18 that are bored out to 84 millimeter. It's the same sleeve in there, bigger opening. So they just cut more material off from 81 to 84 millimeter to make the cylinder bigger. That's why it's weaker, because there's less material. Not the kind of material they used. Less material. So every once in a while, I'll see on a post, isn't this block or that block weaker than this version of the block? The only difference on the block is the code stamping. That code stamping isn't a bulletproof vest. It doesn't magically make it different. They don't magically sprinkle in some extra special dust to make the material that they make these engines off of any stronger. The cast molds to make a K20A3 versus a K20Z3 are the same, which is the reason why you can just drill into a couple of spots to add oil squirters if you want to. You can drill into a spot in the back to add the oil transmission cooler if you want to, because all those passengers are still there. One's just got the glazed over from the casting versus the other one having the openings for it. But the block is the same. This is why I said the K20s are all the same. Even the A3 is the same block. The differences between the A3 and the Z3 or the A2 or the Z1 are all minuscule. They don't come with the oil squirters. No big deal. Big racers don't really race with high power on the oil squirters. Those get deleted. They get plugged off. Better oil pressure. You know, and then the only thing difference, and then similar to the B series family, how the B20 is a little bit weaker because it's been opened up more. The K20A3 is frowned upon for being a weaker engine because the rods that come with it. And unlike the K20A4, the rods are not interchangeable with the big boy rods. So the K20A3 has different sized journals on the rods. So if you want to use bigger rods than that, you have to remove that crankshaft and put a different crankshaft in it. But overall, the engine is the same. So, and this is aggravating shit. Like, and the reason why I get mad at people when they say shit is because, you know, you could potentially, if you're ignorant, there are definitely other people out there who are also ignorant. So if you put an ignorant ass fucking statement on one of my posts, especially if it's a sales post trying to make money, you may make somebody else who's silent, who doesn't comment, hesitate. And then that guy goes out and also perpetuates the ignorance. And then that's how you get shit spread around. So if you are ignorant, in fact, then if you are not sure on something, instead of publicly throwing some shit out, why don't you DM me? You won't get an angry response then. Then I'll calmly tell you the very simple truth of the answer. But thankfully now my following is growing enough where there are other smart people who can see things and better explain to other people too, so it's not just me. And I'm thankful for you guys that are out there doing this. But guy comments on a Z3 post, a Z3 block talk, orange Z3 is prone to crack. And then I guess the other guy commented, he caught the idea of what dude was saying. I didn't. You know, and I just made a post about this the other day too. You know, that if you want to tap your oil pan for boost, steel oil pan versus the aluminum oil pan is the way to go, because the steel oil pans they're better for drilling holes in, and they got flex to them, as the aluminum pans don't. They'll break, they'll crack. They're prone to cracking. So the Z3 oil pans are prone to crack, not the fucking block. So I guess it's a quick plug too. You know, I have a guy who's Lee, the same guy who's doing my turbo shit for me, also is tapping my oil pan. So if you want tapped oil pans, I have that. You know, that's for sale also. I think 110 shipped for a tapped K-Series oil pan. Just let me know where you want the tap. You want it in the back or on the side, depending on how your turbo manifold setup is. So yeah, real quick plug right there. Guys, but so I'm sorry. You know, this is a business I'm trying to run here, guys. So if I get frustrated and aggravated and seem like if I'm coming off as attacking somebody, it's because you're potentially fucking with my money. So that's the reason why. Guys, thanks for watching.